He's not here tonight, you can spell what I want. No, he's just. Oh, is he? I sent him a text message, he didn't say anything this morning.
Is that a child's sport game?
Oh.
Okay, so the last football game. Okay. Okay, so call this meeting to order at 6:05 PM. This will be an open meeting. Notice has been given to the public at least 24 hours prior to the meeting and by forwarding the complete agenda to the County Reporter and all other news media who have requested the same. Copies of the complete agenda were available for inspection at your office of the city administrator. Roll call.
Cliff Martin,
Here.
Daryl Anderson.
Here.
Dee Donlevy.
Here.
Bob LaFrac,
Here.
Riley Soul.
Here.
Lori Spencer.
Here.
Dan Zeller.
Here.
Attorney Calvert will be here.
Moving on to number 3, approval of agenda.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried to approve the agenda as stated. Moving on to number 4, approval of minutes from the 9/10/24 council meeting.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried to approve minutes from 9/10/24 meeting. Public input. Open time. Any public input? Third and final time, any public input? Move on to correspondence. Any correspondence?
I guess I can just say, the Park and Rec meeting and the forestry meeting for this week were canceled. This week in Rec and Rock County.
Any other correspondence? Okay. Moving on to number 7, discussion, action, recommendation on the following old unfinished business. An ordinance regarding revisions to the government and administration ordinance and municipal code of ordinance for the city of O'Connell, creation of a tourism commission. You have the draft in your packet.
I saw the different changes that we talked about. The only question that I have is, page 2, number 3, the excess of $10,000. I didn't realize we settled on the $10,000 one.
We didn't change anything in this draft, this is the original draft.
That's the original. Oh,
Yep, because until a motion is made, we didn't.
understandable.
Yes.
I personally really like how this draft was written originally. I know we haven't made a lot of changes on it, but I liked it before, I like it now, so I'd like to make a motion to approve this ordinance, and it's good.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Need a second? Discussion.
And again, to confirm, this is just approving to move forward with creating the commission.
Yes.
Nothing will be finalized until the council next week.
Is it for, it's approving this draft as stated, but too, it's not just saying moving forward with the commission, it's saying that it is what we want, right? It's approving everything within this draft, right? Like keeping the $10,000 expenditure, keeping the, now, was it updated on a monthly basis? Because I thought that the original draft said quarterly, so that was updated, right?
From the original, but it's
Yeah.
not from.
So this
It's
is,
not from the last meeting. We need to update when we pick from the last meeting.
But it wouldn't be finalized, correct, until next week.
Right, nothing is final until council approves it, but
This is just getting through this step.
This draft.
Yeah,
But can we make changes to it now before we?
absolutely.
Well, we've already got a motion and a second, so we have to vote on that first.
Yes, yep.
any other discussion, comments? I'm not comfortable with the $10,000 myself. It's not at this point. I thought we changed that.
There was no motion made. There wasn't any agreement, there was no motion made, so we didn't change anything. You can make a motion if you want after this motion.
I know that was a sticking point, I'm trying to, I don't care to vote, if it's 10,000, it's 3,000, if it's 3,000, great, but we're gonna have to meet monthly because it basically did, which would be fully reviewed. And it's would be fully reviewed. Usually, we have to file monthly, state and savings, so we might as well have monthly meetings. Right?
And if it's a big sticking point, I was willing to make concessions on that last time. It's not, I'm not trying to push this through at that number. If that helps get this across, we can, if I can amend that motion to say 5,000 or somewhere, in between, or, I mean, the reason I make the motion is not to get the 10,000. I'm okay with a different number. If push comes to shove and we have to go over that, that's not why I made the motion. I made the motion because I just think that it's
I think we have to vote on this motion first.
Yeah, I think once you make a motion, it belongs to the floor. It doesn't- you can't-
But for example, it's worth, I was really excited.
No,
I'm
I
comfortable
totally with you.
with that number.
Yep.
Comfortable.
And in theory, could that number reach, if we needed to just, if it passed tonight as is, next meeting, if it needed to get switched back to something else that could be done in that moment?
Yeah, the council.
So-
can do everything else.
So because next week we could take a look at that number again to change it. And I would be okay if everyone else wanted to roll
Dan?
I believe we can change that right after, make another motion right after, correct?
Yeah.
So we could do it right away tonight, right after the first
the
motion.
If the first motion fits.
Right, correct.
Well,
No, I was gonna say,
okay.
D has,
I do have a question. Brittany, what is the current budget for the tourism committee?
33,500.
So I'm really struggling. I don't want to get hung up on the $10,000 either by any means to hold us up any further. But we've entrusted $32,000 to this committee in the best interest, of the city to promote tourism. Now we're getting hung up on $10,000. I'm not understanding that because they've been fiscally responsible and I'm just not understanding why this is such a sticking point.
Yeah.
Well, your $33,500 is your entire budget.
Correct.
This is saying that you can't spend more than 3,000 or 10,000 or 5,000 at one time without being okay. It's not that we don't trust you with your budget.
But that did happen because those kind of funds ended up going out the door for water testing, isn't that right? How much was handed over to them?
Well, last year was 16,000, this year
Right.
is closer to 26.
So again, they were entrusted to do the best judgment with monies that were being paid out to other functions of the city. So again, I'm struggling to understand why this is such a sticking point.
You voted.
Actually, I believe the Harbor Commission should be $20,000.
They get 10, they match 10 to the new economy.
We know they have 33,000, and you're looking for $10,000. You're giving them through the budget. That's not a good thing. Even, I think the city changed it way back when, Frank probably know, I thought it was 10. No, it was less than that, it was
It
3,000.
was 3
And then he upped it because it was the amount of repairs, especially for vehicles now, was going up. Therefore, you couldn't get your vehicles repaired back on the street. So we upped it to $10,000. Well, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't mean we're not fiscal responsible. What it means is that's comes and comes. I mean, otherwise, if you want, you just spend the whole $33,500 and I want to get it done for you. And actually, that's 33.5 isn't gonna be there anymore. After the commission.
But I mean,
Previously, we had spent 16,000 out of the 22 on water tax.
like, did you guys bring that to full council before making that decision to give them those monies? Did you have to have approval from council to do that?
We did all of those three councils.
Yes.
I don't personally care whether it's 10,000, 3,000, 5,000, personally I don't care, but I think where the difference comes from is you have that set budget. Your budget is this amount. With the room tax, we don't know what that budget's gonna look like. And it's gonna be more long-term plans, more long-term goals, larger amounts of money. It's something you wanna control more than just more short-term goals, more of a set budget. I think that's where the difference comes in.
Any other questions, comments? Okay. We have a motion, we roll call vote.
And this is a motion to approve this draft ordinance as written. Gerald Anderson,
No.
Dee Donlevy,
Yes.
Bob McGrath,
No.
Ryan Soul,
Yes.
Lori Senza, Dan Zeller.
I would like to make a motion to accept this draft with the exception of number 3, the expenditures, not in excess of $5,000. Right. Any discussion, comments? If not, roll call vote.
Dee Donlevy,
Yes.
Bob McGrath,
Yes.
Ryan Soul,
Yes.
Lori Senza,
Yes.
Dan Zeller,
No.
Gerald Anderson.
No.
Okay, moving on to number 8, discussion, action, recommendation on the following new business. Department reports, please report.
For September, we had 10 ordinance violations and 445 calls for service. One exciting thing I wanted to talk about was, I don't remember if I mentioned the flock camera that we have gotten. It's a camera that reads license plates and tells us if it's stolen, involved in any crime, stuff like that. The flock camera that we have in town, it actually caught 2 stolen vehicles, and one of them was captured in Apollo Falls. And the person was arrested and some other stuff with it, but it was a great victory for us that the bond camera actually caught that. Our newest officer successfully completed his field training on his own that started on last Wednesday. And with the approval of the PFC, our newest candidate will be starting on the 28th.
Tell them where that candidate is coming from.
Coming from Nakusa Police Department. And has, I believe, 3 years of law enforcement experience. Was first in Grand Chute, and he was there for a few months. He responded to the mall shooting that occurred and, decided that at that time, law enforcement wasn't for him. And then he got back into it and was with Crusoe, or is with Crusoe for the 3 years. And he's a very family-oriented man, and I think he'll fit in good in the community.
Okay. Any questions for Chief Beck? Not, we'll move on to the fire department. Fire report.
Josh was excused, but he did hand out a report. If you have any questions, you can ask me and I can try, or you can contact Josh.
One note on the fire last night. They were on site in 4 minutes, putting water on that house. It's pretty impressive, I think. Any questions? Not, Park and Rec, we do not have a report tonight. So,
We did take off the docks at, the city docks today. They're working on that street project right there. And with how the street project is moving, it just made the most sense to take it out now as opposed to getting stuck and having to wait. People can't access that road anyway, and then it would be time to take them out in November. So it just worked best for our crews and for the street project to take them out today. And the street department worked with that, and it went very smoothly, and it's all complete.
yeah, I did talk to Jeremy today. I think he's probably, you and Jeremy have talked, anything that needs to be done in Park and Rec while John is recuperating. The other two departments are gonna cover everything. So, then Jeremy went out to the Coldwood Park, talked to people out there, same at the harbor, so they're gonna cross over and take over whatever needs to be done in the immediate future, so. Okay, yes, Steve.
Can I make a recommendation to possibly send $100 to John?
We can, I will know later tonight how long he's gonna be in the hospital. Bryce and I have been communicating. He gets some strength back in his arm, and the only thing is, he's frustrated. He can't put his sentence together. Excuse me. So, other than that, he's gaining his strength back. We had a lot of tests today on him. Hey, utility.
I just have a few updates. The meter installs are going well. We're up to over 1,100 in out of the 1984 the total meters we have in the city. We're averaging about 40 meters a week getting in. So I know we're booked out for appointments almost the deer season already. For the final book, like just like others. Better idea where we're at. And then we're gonna taper off, not install during the winter, because a lot of homes are having issues with their valve, just their old valves, non-operational, so you have to shut them off at the load up. About 3 out of every 10 have to shut off at the load, at the curb stop. That's not feasible in the winter to keep them on the schedule with snow plowing and everything else, so. That's where we're at on that. The treatment plant, in August meeting, we awarded the contract to Lunda with an early December start date to start excavating, getting the coffer dam in the ground so they can start building the actual upgrade. Last night's meeting, we approved our utility budget for 2025 and also approved Robert E. Lee as our engineer for construction oversight and observation, which they were already settled on a price 2 years ago when they were hired as our design. So it's just an update on
Any questions for Matt? Okay, no, we'll move on. Oh, go
public works report. Jeremy's gonna give his report for the council meeting, because there's a couple of agenda items on there, and we'll have his meeting next Monday, so then he'll give his report next week.
And I believe Joe was going to. Well, he's got this report.
He handed out this report. The yellow line on the bottom is the month of September, so there's 40 permits in the month of September for, $3,228. And then the red line on the bottom, that's permits issued since his return. So he's issued 58 permits since he's returned, for a total of $4,285. So you can definitely see the difference. I think of that.
Okay, admin report.
Short and sweet, I just, reevaluation year, the assessment role is now complete, so the open book, because it's a reevaluation year, we haven't had one since 2005, it's gonna be 2 days, and they're only gonna be by appointments, that's not the norm, they only do that because there's gonna be so many people, that are gonna be looking for information. So R&R did mail out letters to homeowners with their new assessments on it and how to contact R&R with their questions. So the first open book will be Monday, October 14th, and then the second will be Tuesday, October 15th. Again, by appointment only, R&R uses appointments, so we have it online that how people can contact them. And then the board of review date will be Thursday, November 14th. And then the November 5th, coming up super quick. People can use myvote.wi.gov to register or request mailed absentee ballots. In-person absentee voting starts on October 22nd. It goes to November 1st. People can vote in person Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 4 with ID.
Moving on to the tourism report.
So September is an awesome month for tourism in O'Connell. We've got a couple of huge events that happen. Friday is like a parade of amazing vehicles going by all day in front of my place. And then we had Harvest Fest, which for the second year in a row was just an absolute huge hit. There was I guess I'm gonna go on a limb and call it an official City of O'Connell record pumpkin weighed in at 624 pounds. Topping last year's best of 494 pounds. So in fact, there was 2 of them this year that surpassed that amount. There was another 522-pound pumpkin and a 464 pounder. So 3 big ones. We had a couple of other entities that were in the 100-pound range. There's a large watermelon. It was a super fun day. Additionally, coming up, not November, but in December 31st, we're working on, Ron Hayes has spearheaded trying to bring a pickle drop back to Oconto. We're gonna likely adjust the time so it's not midnight, but maybe evening, it'll be dark early that time of year, but we're working on, right down on Main Street, dropping a pickle on New Year's. So any questions, point those towards Ron Hayes, and he's working with the local art department at the high school to come up with pretty cool pickle to light up and drop. Additionally, we had mentioned last month that we're making progress on the visitor center, a 14-foot covered kiosk at the Quick Trip location, the park at Quick Trip there. We're going to be working with the high school, Mr. Porat. Currently, we're second in their queue on projects. They're working on getting a building permit. And then the first thing this fall, they're hoping to get the concrete in. It's going to be 14 foot by 14 foot of the concrete. And we decided that we were going to go solar for electrical over standard electric. There's a cost savings there, and Mr. Porat and his crew have experience dealing with that. And it's going to not only be cheaper, but better in a lot of different ways, and innovative as well. So we're making progress on the visitor center, the actual center itself, though, the concrete we're hoping to get in this fall, but the center itself may be until spring. Just kind of depends on the weather and whatnot, but it looks like it's going to be completed early next year. We are also working on, printed City of Oconto calendar of events. So, we want to do a twice a year publication where we've got cardstock from the impressions that have a list of month by month the main events that are occurring in our city. And then we're actually gonna mail those out to all of the residents. And then we'll have an additional amount that, we'll have to be able to allow businesses to pass out to their customers who are visiting as well. So that's pretty exciting that, everyone's gonna get, everyone at least in town is gonna get mailed out, calendar of events for next year. Other than that, we are working on making progress towards working with the Barn Badges company to do a river floating, sign kiosk, on McDonald Street by the 41 overpass where the kayakers and the tubers put in there. They wanted to have a sign that shows the stops where you can get in and out on the river, the different places that you can stop, grab a bite to eat or to grab a drink along the river, and then rough estimates on the float time to get from where you're putting in to each of the different locations. Obviously, it varies based on the current and the wind and a lot of different factors, but to give people a general ballpark idea of how long it would take them to get to the next good place or, whatever city docks or whatever. So, work on a few different things as we close out the year. But yeah, kind of fun little time in tourism in September.
Yes,
At Harvest Fest, Big and Granny School, we had a gentleman stop by there, he's very interested, he's mentioning something about a Christmas parade. Has he reached out to you all in regard to that?
I have talked to him, and we just gotta figure out who's gonna be the lead on it, and when we're gonna do it. Some people don't think it should have anything to do with the Wonderland, it should be separate from that. I kinda thought it'd be nice when you do the lighting at Winter Wonderland, that you do the parade. So, I gotta get a group together that's willing to work on it, and somebody's gotta spearhead it, so. But I have reached out to that gentleman. And I did actually communicate a little bit with Lynn Hurley. So I don't know if anybody in tourism wants to spearhead it or what. I will reach out and get a meeting.
Bob, how's your ho ho ho?
To save a few bucks on it.
Okay. Yes.
I know it's outside of public input, but in light of the fact that John is not here, just wanted to give you a quick update that I heard from Andy Stelmacher. And they did get the approval of the Bond Foundation grant, and they will be starting all the renovations over at the Fall Diamonds this fall.
Oh,
So just an update.
thank you. I was gonna wait and ask you afterward. Thank you.
I'm sure that would have been off because of John, he would have talked about it had he been here.
We do the ball field because the crown is off of them. So like, I forget which tournament it was this year. They all had rain before. They had some pumps out there pumping it off because the crown is gone. So it's like a bowl now.
So it's going to be pretty cool.
Yes, Steve.
One question, Brittany, I'm not sure how we want to handle the technology updates or information, do we need to add it to the agenda, or just ad hoc as we have them, or what do you like to do? Is it not on the list of reports?
Nothing was it technology?
Exactly.
They didn't approve anything.
I wasn't sure if I should have not been.
Oh, you can if you want. Yeah, you can.
We had the first technology meeting, and basically we talked about kind of what some of the needs were. And we talked about where we struggle with having good audio, video with the TV set. we're looking at possibly a couple options of, and obviously these don't work, they've been completely disabled. So they were thinking about possibly looking into having just a single mic kind of drop down like in the center of the room, so it kind of picks up everybody's voice. And or looking at, one of the other municipalities, I know the Menominee counties, for their board meetings, they have wireless rechargeable microphones that are in front of the actual people sitting, so again, it'll pick up your voices and try to carry it down to the TV set. So we're looking at that, and we're also looking at, David is gonna bring in his tablet, I haven't read right. Bring in his tablet, just to, because again, we're definitely killing trees, and we're killing, employees' time to run all this off and print it all off, so again, maybe not for this year, but maybe do something in the budget for next year, we'll take a look at what it would cost to possibly get tablets for council. So this highlights of,
Thank you, Dave. Okay, moving on to 8B, approval of original alcohol beverage retail license application from the Men's Shop LLC located at 1029B Main Street, and approval of agent of Elizabeth A. Hurley. I have a question. She don't want to sell the usually retail versus wine?
Yeah, sorry, I thought I said about, to everyone, I forget you, her plan is to sell high-end bottles of bourbon whiskey, just that, it's a men's shop that will have like higher end men's items. And she just wants to sell those high-end bottles.
So this is for a class A license.
Yeah.
Which is like a liquor store,
Just selling bottles, not liquor.
not a class B.
Yes. I make a motion to approve.
Also,
Cory Spencer? No. Dan Zeller?
yes.
Carol Anderson?
No.
Dee Donlevy?
yes,
Bob LaBrette?
Yes.
Riley Swope?
Motion carried. Number 9. Bob, got that? Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries to adjourn. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, but we're just gonna meet. So. It's like your bag. Well, he said, yeah, that was their first.
You're right.